Good Thursday afternoon. How you doing today? I'm out here on the swing, as you can plainly see. I have not gone through my VHS tapes yet, but I did pull out a huge drawer, probably maybe 150 or so or more 8mm movie tapes, which is what I used back in the 90s. I didn't have the mini DV or anything else, let alone a camera like I got here. And one of my viewers a while back, because I had mentioned that I had Jimmy Snooker, Superfly Snooker, on a tape, but I can't seem to find it. But I did find a local fair that they had in the 90s, and it's marked wrestling, and I believe it's 1996 or 98, somewhere in there. I'll be showing you some of the 8mm videotapes, but you won't be able to see them close up because I'm using the ZE-1. Now, I have no way at this time to copy, I mentioned this before, to copy an analog tape, whether it be VHS or 8mm video. They're both analog, onto the computer. The only way I could do it, and I haven't used my DVD recorder, I believe I showed that on one of my videos, my Magnabox, and record it onto, burn a DVD. But I haven't used them so long, I don't know if it still works. And a lot of times when you burn a DVD on a standalone DVD recorder, or even in the computer, you have to finalize it. Sometimes they don't finalize, in which case you can't play it. My dilemma right now is I have no way of getting the 8mm videos into a digital format to put into the computer. I just can't do it. So I'm going to try. I have the Sony, and I showed that on my one of my videos. I have a Sony 8mm VCR, which I bought many years ago. Last I knew, it still worked, which will play and record, for that matter, but you don't need to do that, 8mm videotapes, and it has the composite video out. The yellow wire also has the left and right channel audio. But as I mentioned before, I do not have a Dazzle DV80 since I went to Windows 7 years ago. Dazzle DV80, which was a capture card adapter that you plugged into your USB, and it has the video inputs, the red and black for the stereo left and right channel, your yellow wire composite video, and it also has S-video in it. But that won't work on Windows 7, so I got rid of that, as I said. So I have no way of transferring it onto the computer. I showed a DV Easy Cap little dongle on one of my videos, I believe, and that doesn't work right either, and I don't have the driver for it. I don't know if it... I used to be able to do it through Pinnacle as far as the capture is concerned, but the quality is so bad, really, really bad, I don't want to use that. So I have no way of doing that. My mini DV camcorders that I do have, I have a couple of them, do not work with what they call a pass-through. In other words, you put your analog into the camcorder and it'll come out by way of FireWire. I have a FireWire card, at least as far as I know. I have it in my desktop computer. The shuttle does not have that. The shuttle does not have FireWire. So I would have to capture it on the desktop, which I could do. But my cameras don't allow the pass-through, what they call a pass-through. It won't convert. What it will do is, if you have a mini DV, these are mini DV cameras I'm talking about now. If you have a mini DV tape and you want to put it into your computer, you play the camcorder and you have the FireWire hooked to your computer, you bring up Pinnacle. I think Sony Movie Studio 13 will do that too, and it'll capture it. However, these are 8mm videotapes. These are analog tapes. So you can't do what they call the pass-through on those cameras. I believe there's only a few that'll do that. Canon, I think, is one of them. But I have no way of doing that. So I may not ever be able to get these on there. The only way I know to do it, and it's going to be a problem, it's not going to be good, is to do it the old-fashioned way, is to play them in the 8mm VCR and have them displayed on a little analog 7-inch player that I have, which takes composite video and audio, and play it that way. It's the only way you're going to get to see them. If anybody's got any suggestions as to a capture device so I can take my VHS tapes, which I have not looked through. I got hundreds and hundreds of them. They're in the front room in the entertainment center, and they've been there from almost day one since we put the entertainment center in there. And it would disrupt everything in there because I have to pull everything out. My wife's printer's in there, and in the back of it's got tapes. And I built the entertainment center in the 90s when they had the old mobile home. It's 8 foot long and 7 foot tall, and comes in 2 pieces. You know, built it out of birch plywood in the 90s. I even have videos of me building it on VHS. Don't ask me where they are. Don't ask me. I can't find anything. But I have no way of getting the analog stuff onto the computer. I have no way of doing it. I'm not spending big money to just convert a few tapes just for YouTube. It's just not going to happen. So a lot of my VHS tapes did get copied to DVD. The problem is I still have DVDs buried somewhere. They may even contain the wrestling that is on the tapes I'm going to show you as soon as I get done flapping here. Seems like when I talk I go on forever. But I try to do this and explain this because I don't want people asking me something and I have to try to type a paragraph or two and answer. It's so much easier to just explain things on video if you listen carefully. When I'm speaking, I know it's boring and long-winded, but you know, I try my best to explain my situation. So I always try to entertain and give people what they want on video. And 1 or 2 of my viewers expressed interest in seeing Jimmy the Superfly Snuka. But again, I don't recall him actually wrestling. He was there taking autographs. I remember videotaping him. And also an arm wrestling competition, not with Superfly, but with the local mayor at the time of the town. And he was about 60 years old, and he was beating all these young guys in arm wrestling. And I think he was either the mayor or a former mayor. That I have on video, and as well as Jimmy Superfly Snuka taking autographs. I don't recall if I ever got an autograph, I requested one or not. I don't remember. This goes back in the 1996, 97, 98 era when I was recording all my tapes, all my videos rather, in 8mm video. And at the time I had a Sony CCD V5. It was I think a 3 or 4 or 5x zoom on it, 8mm video, not the next one up, which is supposed to be, I don't know, Super 8. We're not talking about 8mm film now. We're talking about 8mm videotape. So that was the camera I was using at the time. So my only hope to get it without going through a hassle of taking a camcorder and aiming it at a like a DVD player screen and doing it that way, if I can locate the DVD that it may be on, I can rip that. I'll have to rip it right at this stage of the game. I'll have to rip it in my old computer until I get another monitor. But that's not a problem. I can rip the DVD and it wouldn't be that long anyway. So that's the story there. I have no way of, there's a lot of early stuff. Another one of my viewers asked about the stuff in 1986, 87, 88 time frame. Well, that's when I had 8mm videotape. And they're analog, as I said before so many times, and there's no way I'm going to be able to capture them right now. I don't have a way of doing it. And I know there's probably capture devices you can buy, and I'm not going to do that. But if anybody's got any ideas, maybe of maybe making the Easy Cap, which is about a $10, $15 capture thing that I got on eBay about 15 years ago, that did work in Windows 7, but it does not work that good. It downgrades the quality. It makes an AVI out of it, which is not a problem. The problem is the quality is piss poor, to be blunt about it. So, and I don't think I have any blank DVD R's plus R's to burn a DVD, and I've been so long since I used the DVD recorder, it's very time consuming, you know, to do it and then turn around and rip it. I know, almost sure I have it on DVD. Originally I had transferred 150 to 200 of my tapes, 8mm tapes, onto DVD, but nothing's in order. When I do stuff, make videos, unless I'm recording a show or something, which we don't go to anymore, we don't have country shows anymore in the parks and at the fairs, they just don't have that stuff anymore. The stuff they do have, I don't waste my time on it. So when I used to have a cookout, I'd put a cookout on it. Like, let's say, as I recall, I think the 8mm videotape is 2 hours. I think so. Don't quote me on it. It's been too long since I recorded on one. So if the cookout is a half hour, let's say, or a little event that we go to is a half hour, an hour, okay, then I add other stuff to it. So my stuff is mixed. So there's no real order, and when I write it out on the thing, I'll write out something like Cookout 19, whatever it is, and Brooklyn Fair, whatever, down there, and maybe I got no more room to write on the edge label. So I'll write it on the side of the box, the container that the tape is in. So I had to dig through, and it took me an hour to find these tapes here. Let me show you one of them right now. Matter of fact, let me show you these tapes right now.
All right, this is just one of them. And what I usually do is I write in here. Where am I, on camera or not? I'm hunching over here. See, so these are 8mm videotape. They're like a miniature version of a VHS. You old-timers like myself will remember those. As you can see here, I don't know how well you can see that because I'm using a ZE1, but these are 8mm videotapes, okay? And I was looking for the one that I had Jimmy Superfly Snuka in. I don't know if he was actually wrestling. I think he was signing autographs. I believe that's what it was. These red dots here all signify that they are on DVD, with the exception of this one. So I can't find the DVDs, but each one that has a red dot on it, when I transferred these 8mm to DVD in my DVD recorder, and some of them were done on the computer through Pinnacle. I put a red dot. I had a package of those little things you stick on, and that tells me that they're on DVD. So just about every single one of probably 200 of these tapes, I must have 150, 200 of them. I didn't really count them. And all of them are cookouts, family stuff, and things like that. You know, birthday parties, all stuff that I'm not really going to put on YouTube. You've seen the cookouts before too, so, you know. But I wanted to try to get some of this wrestling stuff from the fair. I believe it was in the 90s. All right, so in closing, I may not be able to get you a good video of it, and I don't know how long they are as far as the parts you're interested in. So what I'm going to do today, though, is I got to find my analog portable, it's a little monitor. I've used it years and years ago to show some tapes to you and held the camera up to it. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. It's a lousy, lousy way to do it, but it's the only way. You remember when I did it in the shed, in the shop, and that was really the only way. It's a lot quicker. I can pick the parts I want and then push record on the camcorder. So let me try this. I'm working on it. I finished the speakers, by the way. I put the little shelves in the back yesterday. I glued them in and I screwed them down in there. And I took the clamps off this morning and I installed the speakers. And they're all set to go. So everything's hooked up. And so I can use the shuttle. At least I'll have some sound in there. And that's the story there. So that project's done. There's no point in showing it to you. There's nothing to look at, really. I showed you, you know, the things clamped in place. So they look good up in there, and you can hear them very well, so they come out good. So until the next video, take care, everybody. And we'll be talking to you. Take care.